There was no order in this courtroom as two brothers attacked their mother's killer.
A convict downs poison in court, shouting defiance as he falls. Courtrooms are for justice, but sometimes they turn deadly.
Nichols was on trial for rape when he attacked the deputy escorting him to court from his holding cell. He used that deputy's gun to take several hostages and overpowered another deputy inside the chambers of Judge.
From a mother's revenge to a mob's fury, these real courtroom moments will leave you stunned. Brian Nichols. Blood stains the courthouse floor as screams echo through Atlanta's Fulton County Courthouse. On March 11, 2005, Brian Nichols, a 33-year-old on trial for rape, turned a routine court day into a nightmare. Born in Baltimore, Maryland, Nichols grew up middle class but spiraled into crime, landing in court for assaulting his ex-girlfriend. His first trial ended in a mistrial, but nobody expected what came next. In a holding cell, Nichols overpowered Deputy Cynthia Hall, a 51-year-old guard half his size. He stole her .40 caliber Glock pistol, beat her into a coma, and slipped into civilian clothes meant for his trial. Armed, he stormed Judge Roland Barnes's chambers, holding case managers and an attorney at gunpoint. When Sergeant Grantley White tried to intervene, Nichols forced him to cuff the others. Then he burst into the courtroom, fatally shooting Judge Barnes, 64, and court reporter Julie Ann Brandau, 46. Fleeing, he gunned down Deputy Hoyt Teasley, 43, outside. Nichols' rampage didn't stop. He carjacked vehicles, sparking a 26-hour manhunt across Atlanta. That night, he killed ICE agent David Wilhelm, 40, at a Buckhead home, stealing his gun and truck. Over 400 police hunted him. Finally, Nichols took Ashley Smith hostage in her Duluth apartment.
But as he held her hostage, she was able to talk him into surrendering the next day. This morning, Fulton County Sheriff Pat Labatt has released a statement on this tragedy, saying in part,
she read to him from The Purpose-Driven Life, urging surrender. On March 12th, he gave up, waving a white t-shirt. Charged with 54 counts, including murder and kidnapping, Nichols pleaded not guilty, claiming insanity. On November 7, 2008, a jury convicted him on all counts. Judge James Bodiford sentenced him to multiple life terms without parole. The tragedy cost 4 lives and spurred tighter courthouse security nationwide. Now, a mob of angry women takes justice into their own hands in a shocking courtroom attack. Yadav. A courtroom in Nagpur, India, erupts in chaos on August 13, 2004. Bharat Kalicharan, known as Yadav, a 32-year-old gangster, steps into court for a bail hearing. For over a decade, he terrorized Kasturba Nagar's slums, raping over 40 women and girls, some as young as 10, murdering at least 3, and extorting families. He bribed police with cash and drinks, dodging 14 arrests since 1991. That day, word spreads that he might walk free again. At 3 in the afternoon, 200 to 400 women from the slum storm Nagpur District Court Number 7. Yadav, fearless, spots a victim and mocks her, calling her vile names. The police smirk. A woman snaps, hitting him with a slipper, shouting, "It's you or me!" Then the mob attacks. They throw chili powder in his face and the guards, blinding them. Knives flash, vegetable cutters from their kitchens. They stab him 70 times, leaving blood splattered on the marble floor. One woman severs his genitals. Yadav begs, "Forgive me," but dies in 15 minutes. The women, mostly Dalits, claim every household had a rape victim. They acted after Usha Narayane, a 25-year-old, stood up to Yadav's threats, nearly blowing up her home with a gas cylinder to stop him. Police arrested 18, including 5 women, but all were acquitted in 2014 due to unreliable witnesses. The judge notes police collusion, citing 100 milligrams of alcohol in Yadav's system. The slum celebrates with music and dance. Was this justice or vengeance? Let us know what you think in the comments section. Next, a mother's grief ignites a courtroom showdown that shocks Germany. Klaus Grabowski. On May 5, 1980, a 7-year-old girl named Anna vanishes in Lübeck, West Germany. Her neighbor, Klaus Grabowski, a 35-year-old butcher, lured her to his apartment with a promise to play with his cats. Hours later, he strangled her with his fiancée's pantyhose, stuffed her body in a cardboard box and dumped it by a canal. Grabowski, already convicted for molesting 2 girls in 1976, confessed to the murder after his fiancée tipped off police. He claimed Anna tried to blackmail him, saying she'd tell her mother he touched her unless he paid up, a story that enraged everyone. Grabowski's past was dark. After his earlier convictions, he chose chemical castration but later took hormone treatments to reverse it. By 1981, he faced trial in Lübeck District Court number 157. On the third day, March 6th, at 10 in the morning, the courtroom buzzed with reporters. Grabowski's defense argued his hormonal imbalance caused the crime, a claim that twisted the knife for Anna's mother. Then 7 shots rang out, blood pooling on the floor as Grabowski collapsed, dead in seconds. Six bullets hit him, fired from a .22 caliber Beretta pistol. Police records show Grabowski's prior offenses included assaulting girls aged 9 and 11. His fiancée's call led to his arrest within hours of Anna's murder. The trial revealed he held Anna for over 4 hours before killing her. Germany called it one of the most shocking cases of vigilante justice, sparking debates over courtroom security and punishment for predators. But who pulled the trigger that day? The answer lies in a mother's unbearable grief, Marianne Bachmeier. On March 6, 1981, Lübeck District Court number 157 hums with tension. Marianne Bachmeier, a 30-year-old single mother, sits in the gallery, her eyes fixed on Klaus Grabowski, the man who murdered her daughter, Anna. 7 months earlier, on May 5, 1980, Grabowski strangled 7-year-old Anna and dumped her body by a canal. Marianne, who ran a pub to support Anna, had already lost 2 children to adoption. Anna was her everything, a bright spark in a life scarred by an abusive father and early motherhood at 16. During Grabowski's trial, his defense claimed a hormonal imbalance from a prior castration drove him to kill. Each word stung Marianne, who'd raised Anna alone, working long nights. That morning at 10:15, she stood, pulled a .22 caliber Beretta from her purse and fired 7 shots. 6 hit Grabowski, killing him instantly as blood stained the courtroom floor. Marianne stood calm, unrepentant, later saying she dreamt of Anna urging her on. Court records note she wrote, "I did it for you, Anna," during a handwriting test. Marianne's trial in 1983 gripped Germany. Charged with premeditated manslaughter, she faced a 6-year sentence but served 3. Released in 1985. Supporters hailed her as a grieving mother seeking justice. Critics called her a vigilante. She died of pancreatic cancer on September 17, 1996 at 46, buried beside Anna. Her case, covered in a 1981 Stern magazine article, sparked debates over parental grief and courtroom vengeance, with 60% of Germans in a poll sympathizing with her act. What drives someone to such extremes? Next, a millionaire's desperate act unravels in a courtroom collapse. Michael Marin, a Phoenix courtroom, falls silent on June 28, 2012. Michael Marin, a 53-year-old former Wall Street trader, hears the guilty verdict for arson. His face pales. He slips something into his mouth, sips from a sports bottle, and minutes later, collapses, convulsing. Born in Oak Harbor, Washington, Marin graduated from Brigham Young University and Yale Law School. He worked for Lehman Brothers and Merrill Lynch, amassing wealth in Asia. He owned a 10,000-square-foot mansion worth $3.5 million, drove a Rolls-Royce, and collected Picasso sketches. By 2008, his fortune crumbled, leaving $50 in his account, a $17,250 monthly mortgage, and a $2.3 million balloon payment looming. On July 5, 2009, Marin's mansion burned. He escaped using a rope ladder and scuba gear, claiming it was in his bedroom by chance. Fire investigators found 4 ignition points and phone books fueling the blaze, proving arson for insurance fraud. His trial began May 21, 2012, facing 7 to 21 years. Maricopa County jury convicted him, and as the judge discussed sentencing, Marin's act unfolded. Autopsy confirmed cyanide poisoning. Sheriff's investigators found sodium cyanide in his car, bought online from a California supplier. A delayed email to his son, sent that day, detailed his will and car's location, hinting at premeditation. Marin, a father of 4 and grandfather of 2, climbed Mount Everest in 2001. His desperate act shocked the courtroom, captured by Arizona TV. Was it fear of prison or a final escape from debt? Well, let us hear your thoughts in the comments section. Next, a war criminal's defiant last stand in a courtroom leaves the world stunned. If you're gripped by these chilling courtroom stories, hit that like button and drop your thoughts in the comments. Don't miss the rest of this video. These tales of justice and chaos are wilder than you can imagine. Slobodan Praljak. On November 29, 2017, a United Nations courtroom in The Hague freezes. Slobodan Praljak, a 72-year-old Bosnian Croat general, stands as Judge Carmel Agius upholds his 20-year sentence. Praljak shouts, "Slobodan Praljak is not a war criminal. I reject your verdict."
Stop, please. Please sit down.
He pulls a small brown vial from his pocket, downs its contents, and declares, "I have taken poison." Chaos erupts as he collapses. 2 hours later, he's dead in a Dutch hospital. Autopsy confirms potassium cyanide poisoning. Born January 2, 1945 in Kapelgina, Praljak was an electrical engineer and theater director before the Yugoslav wars. In 1991, he joined the Croatian army, rising to major general in the Croatian Defense Council during the 1992 to 1995 Bosnian War. The International Criminal Tribunal charged him in 2004 for war crimes, including murder and ethnic cleansing of Bosnian Muslims. His trial, starting April 26, 2006, ended in 2013 with a guilty verdict for crimes like the destruction of Mostar's 16th-century-old bridge. Though judges noted it was a military target, he'd served 13 years by 2017, potentially facing release soon. The live-streamed suicide shocked the world. Dutch prosecutors investigated how Praljak smuggled cyanide past tight security, but found no answers by 2018. A letter in his Zagreb apartment, written 2 years earlier, requested his ashes be scattered in Croatia's capital. Croatia's prime minister called the verdict a moral injustice, while victims' families mourned lost accountability. How did he get the poison inside? That mystery lingers as we turn to a gang member's reckless courtroom attack in Utah. Siale Angilau. On April 21, 2014, Salt Lake City's new federal courthouse becomes a battleground. Siale Angilau, a 25-year-old Tongan Crips gang member, sits at the defense table, facing racketeering charges. At 9:23 in the morning, Viola Tenifa, a shackled former gang affiliate serving 30 years, takes the stand. Angilau, 6 feet 3 inches tall and 260 pounds, grabs a pen marked Alta Club and a pencil, then bolts. In 5 seconds, he sprints past his lawyer, vaults over the witness stand, and swings at Tenifa, who dodges into a corner. A U.S. Marshal, unnamed in reports, draws her .40 caliber pistol and fires 4 shots, hitting Angilau in the chest. "Drop the pen!" an officer yells as Angilau collapses behind the stand, blood spreading. He dies in a hospital hours later. The 24-second video, released in 2018 after KUTV and AP fought for it, shows the chaos. Lawyers dive under desks, a bailiff blocks the gallery, Judge Tina Campbell flees. Angilau's family sued, claiming excessive force, arguing he was down for the last 3 shots. Judge John Dowdell dismissed the case, citing the video as proof that the marshal acted reasonably to stop the attack. Angilau, nicknamed C-Down, had a record since 14, including a 2007 chase where a gang member shot at marshals. Indicted in 2010 with 17 others for robbery and assault, he was the last to face trial. The FBI cleared the marshal, but the unshackled order due to missing table drapes sparked debate over courtroom safety. Why did he snap? The answer waits in a judge's brush with death outside an Ohio courthouse. Nathaniel Richmond. At 8 in the morning on August 21st, 2017, a quiet Steubenville, Ohio street turns into a war zone. Nathaniel Richmond, a 51-year-old with a history of domestic violence arrests, waits in a bank parking lot across from the Jefferson County Courthouse. As Judge Joseph Brzezzi Jr., 65, walks toward the entrance, Richmond steps out and fires 5 shots from a 9mm pistol, hitting the judge in the stomach and chest. Brzezzi, a hunter who carries a concealed weapon, pulls his own revolver. 1 shot misfires, but he lands 3 hits. A nearby probation officer standing 6 feet away fires 4 more shots, killing Richmond in under 10 seconds. Blood marks the pavement as evidence markers dot the scene. Richmond's motive ties to a wrongful death lawsuit Brzezzi oversaw, filed after a 2015 fire killed Richmond's mother and great-nephew. The suit against Jefferson Metropolitan Housing Authority claimed faulty wiring and missing smoke alarms. A hearing was set for August 28th, but Richmond may have thought the case was already dismissed, per prosecutor Jane Hanlon. His son, Malik Richmond, convicted in a high-profile 2013 rape case, had no link to Brzezzi's court, despite public speculation. Video released in 2020 after a 3-year legal fight by the Associated Press shows the ambush's speed. Brzezzi stays standing, staggering across the street. He recovers after surgery in Pittsburgh. Richmond's accomplice, in the car, was grazed by a ricochet and questioned but not charged. The attack shocked Ohio, prompting calls for better judicial protection. What pushes a man to ambush a judge? A killer's courtroom rage reveals more chaos next. David Paradiso. On March 4, 2009, Stockton's San Joaquin County Courthouse Department 21 turns chaotic. David Paradiso, a 28-year-old on trial for murder, takes the stand at 1:45 in the afternoon. He's accused of stabbing his 20-year-old girlfriend, Eileen Pelt, in the neck on December 12, 2006, in his mother's car. He forced his mother, Deborah, to drive to Amador County, where he dumped Eileen's body after a high-speed chase reaching 100 miles per hour. Arrested by Rio Vista police, Paradiso claimed he acted in self-defense, high on methamphetamine. During the trial, he shocks prosecutors by saying Eileen deserved to die. His mother, Deborah, storms out, yelling that he shouldn't testify due to his mental state. Judge Cinda Fox, 52, calls a recess at 2:15. As jurors exit, Paradiso leaps from the stand, grabs a 6-inch metal spike, likely hidden in his leg brace, and attacks Fox, stabbing her arm and neck.
Paul, keep that area clear. We got somebody else coming out.
Lodi Detective Eric Bradley, the case's lead investigator, fires 3 shots, hitting Paradiso in the head and shoulder. He dies instantly, blood pooling on the courtroom floor. Fox, treated at St. Joseph's Medical Center, survives with minor wounds. Deborah had warned the sheriff's office on February 17th that Paradiso had a blade, but 2 cell searches found nothing. A 2005 hospital incident noted his paranoia, yelling about people chasing him. The shooting, cleared as justified in 2010, reignited courthouse security concerns, especially after a 2005 Atlanta shooting. How far will a grudge push someone? A lawyer's narrow escape outside a courthouse tells us next. William Strier. On October 31st, 2003, Van Nuys Courthouse in Los Angeles became a crime scene. William Strier, a 64-year-old from Thousand Oaks, waits outside after a probate hearing. At 10:30 in the morning, he spots Gerald Curry, a 53-year-old lawyer, leaving the courthouse. Strier, armed with 2 revolvers, asks, "Are you Mr. Curry?" When Curry nods, Strier fires 6 shots, hitting Curry 5 times in the neck, arms, and shoulder. Curry ducks behind a thin tree, dodging bullets. A CBS cameraman there for Robert Blake's murder trial captures the attack. Strier, calm, pockets his guns and walks away, saying, "That's what you get for taking my money." Reserve Deputy David Katz, a traffic court judge, hears the shots, sprints, and tackles Strier, pinning him until police arrive. Curry, a probate attorney, survives after surgery at Northridge Hospital. Strier's rage stemmed from a $98,000 trust from a 1999 car accident. He believed Curry, representing the trustee Evelyn Murphy, mishandled funds meant for his medical care. Court filings show Strier threatened Murphy, demanding direct access to the money. Strier's past included a 1969 arrest for shooting a neighbor 4 times, though a claimed psychiatric condition reduced his sentence. On January 20th, 2006, a jury convicted him of attempted murder. Judge Rand Rubin sentenced him on March 17th to life plus 25 years, plus a $10,000 fine and $3,000 in restitution. Strier, on a gurney during trial due to back issues, died in prison in 2007. Curry, who battled PTSD and later took his life in 2011, called Strier dangerous but held no grudge. Per a CBS interview, "We've reached the end of this wild ride. Like the video, subscribe for more gripping stories, and comment your thoughts. Don't miss our next shocking tale and stay safe."